If you're a donor, you have to decide at the end of the day whether you trust the institution you're going to fund. And you trust them not just because they're going to spend the money you give them wisely and with certain restrictions, but you ought to be prepared to trust them to spend some money you give them in an unrestricted fashion. Because they have a capacity to see on the ground what they need to do, and they don't have much real risk capital that comes without strings attached, with no strings attached to it, that they can use. So to me, saying to an organization, we're prepared to give you money for the thing we agree you're going to try and do, and we're going to also give you some extra money for you to experiment, for you to make your back offices stronger, whatever you think is most important. That is conveying a sense of trust and enabling the institution to be an innovator itself, rather than having to tell you how they want to be an innovator, but giving them the sense of trust and confidence you have in their judgment. I think that's a very important part of the partnership relationship.
I think that that's true. I think that that is particularly true and particularly important for what I would call the relationship with the mid-sized nonprofits. I mean, in the United States, we really have a proliferation of nonprofits. We have 1.2 million compared to 300,000 in 1985. So we have this proliferation of institutions, many very, very small, and many duplicative of one another. But there is a category of nonprofit in the sort of $3 million to $8 million revenue category that are tremendously important at the community level, tremendously tied into community. And in this economy, and certainly over the next 3 or 4 years, as the economy continues to restructure, it's extremely difficult for those institutions to adapt to this kind of financial challenge. And what they really need philanthropic support for them to innovate, not just in their programs, but really to innovate internally, to innovate in terms of their revenue structure. How do they become more entrepreneurial? How do they establish an enterprise nonprofit? How do they begin to diversify their revenue streams so that they are more stable in the community? So they don't need so much money for programmatic innovation. They need money for internal innovation, financial innovation. And that is very, very rare money right now in the philanthropic community.
Especially with this focus on results and impact, people want to know that every dollar they give is tied to an outcome. And in fact, if you have trust in an organization, you ought to give them some money untied to let them determine what the outcome is, what their institution needs. And I think one way to encourage people to do that is say, if you're sitting in a foundation, don't you believe that your ability to be a creative foundation comes from the free assets you have to give away in ways that you want, and ask the same question for the organizations you're giving money to. What is it that they have that they can be innovative?